Godspeed. We're good to go.
Good to go.
Test. Is that okay? Everyone here well back there? You getting good audio on my screen? One second. Hello, Bonnie.
Hi.
We're good. We're good to go.
Good to go on audio? Cool. Welcome, everyone. Day 2 of Startup Week. This is our 1 p.m. session. Let me pull out my agenda here. Are you really ready to be an entrepreneur? We do have Christina Mendez joining us today, who's going to be presenting. Also like to give a shout out to First Financial Day. Letitia Taylor is hanging out back towards the back of the room. She's the AVP Business Development Manager. Make sure you go visit her. They sponsored this entire track this week. We'd also like to thank our title sponsors, Parallax Advanced Research, the Entrepreneur Center. You're in kind of their space now, their partnership with UD, the Archetype Innovation Hub. We also have Canary Consulting and Fifth Third Bank sponsoring our title sponsors for this week. I'm going to give it over to Christina. Let's welcome her with a big round of applause.
So just a little bit more about myself. My name is Christina Mendez. I run a marketing and consulting firm for small businesses, Urban Marine Consulting. I've been a full-time entrepreneur for probably 3 years, and I was working there 5 years in higher education. So today we are going to be talking about the essence of entrepreneurship, your why. Why do you want to be an entrepreneur? I make the joke that this is the craziest decision I have made in my life, and I ask myself why every day. So the essence of what we're going to be working on, and the reason why your why is important is because if your why is not strong, it won't carry you through your journey. Whatever you're deciding to do as your business is a baby. So you have to feed your baby, you have to nurture your baby, you have to take care of your baby when you're feeling like it and when you're not. So if you don't have a strong foundation and base for why you want to become an entrepreneur, you're setting yourself up for failure, and we don't want that. So what we're going to do as a group is I'm going to pull up an assessment. You guys need to write this down or just say it in your mind. We're going to do it together, and then we're going to break off into groups. And I really want to see you guys pull apart your why. So this is going to be a self-audit for yourself to make sure that this is what you want to do. Because once you jump off the cliff, that's it, right? So let's get into it. All right. So, desire and passion. So you rated by, I don't know, rarely, sometimes, most of the time, always. I'm sure you guys have done surveys and assessments before, so you can take out a paper and write these down, or again, just mentally take note of what we're asking. Questions as I'm reading them for you, because this is an academic to you. So, I am confident that I have the drive to succeed in a venture of my own. I don't know, rarely, sometimes, most of the time, always. The next. I can prosper in an environment with more questions than there are answers. And keep in mind, this is in the frame of whatever your business idea is or what you want to become an entrepreneur for. The next one. I get hands-on during hard times and then recover quickly. I am good at taking responsibility for my success and my failure. I believe that I can solve problems that lie ahead. I value the management and control systems necessary to run a business. I have the ability to quickly anticipate and troubleshoot problems. I can connect with others in a way that will help my business. I can scan and assess potential needs and gaps. And lastly, I have a support system for making effective business decisions. So I'm going to scroll up. Let me see if I can get, okay, so that's all of it on the screen right there for you guys to think about. And so as you're thinking about these, it's a great kind of general assessment to your desires and your passion, to the ability to thrive on uncertainty. Entrepreneurship is not always going to be, this is what we're doing today, this is the answers. There's going to be days where you're just like, I don't know what's going on. So you really have to
It was coming from the phone because there was nothing.
take a self-audit of these key different things: desire and passion, ability to thrive under uncertainty, determination and resilience, accountability, self-confidence, the value of the bottom line, problem solving, networking, market awareness, and business knowledge. These are all components that you need to have a really strong faith foundation of to begin this entrepreneurial journey. Or you guys feel like you guys are ready just if you're self-assessing yourself? Somebody tell me how they're feeling right now.
I would say
Most of the time? That's good. Sometimes, most of the time? Does anyone like rarely, no, I don't know? We're all feeling pretty good about becoming an entrepreneur. So that means we're all crazy. Great. Our room full of crazy people. I like it. And so, before we get into breaking into groups, I'm going to drive this point home. You need the best entrepreneurs and the best successful people are the most self-aware. Look at Jeff Bezos, look at Steve Jobs. They were very aware of self. You need successful people aren't people that have results. They're people that are obsessed with self-progression and improvement. So you need to be pouring into yourself and deeply understanding yourself and as it relates to your business, so this works. This isn't something that you want to do one time. You need to always be figuring out how to improve oneself. Things that aren't covered right here, but I want to make mention of. What's your learning style? How do you learn? I have to read. I have to write everything down a couple times in my life. I can't listen or watch a video. I'll be like, oh my God. Right? How do you network? How are you good at networking? Are you good at emailing back and forth? Are you better in person? Right? How do you relate to others? You feel like you know you're competent in other cultures and other spaces. You got to get out your comfort zone if you're going to be an entrepreneur. Because you're going to be working with different people, different vendors, different business opportunities. So if you're only knowing how to kind of operate in the space that you're comfortable in, you never put yourself around other people, entrepreneurship is going to be hard. Right? So I just want to make sure that I drive that point home that you guys are obsessed with self-progression for self and understanding yourself. This is something that I go through with clients all the time. We have a whole section called Align. I take them through a rigorous self-assessment. We do zodiac signs. We do something called Enneagram. We do Myers-Briggs. We do an entrepreneurship archetype. I take them through assessments like this because I want to make sure that they know their strengths and their weaknesses. Does that make sense? So what we're going to do now is I want you to break into two groups of two, so half the room. And I want you to ask each other, why do I want to get into entrepreneurship? Why now? Why do you want to do it right now? And what is your concept? So go ahead and break into two groups of two. You just put down the notes, probably easier. Get together, get some notebook and paper out. If you have it, if you don't, please share with fellow entrepreneurs. And then I'm going to repeat the questions again because I talk fast. So why entrepreneurship? Why now? And why your concept? That last question, why your concept, that's going to speak to something I don't know if you guys have covered, which is your USP, your unique selling proposition. Again, why entrepreneurship? Why now? Why your concept? For those who are on with us virtually, please take a pen and paper out and audio yourself and ask yourself these questions as well, so that you're getting the value out of this session. And so I'm gonna give you guys like 5-6 minutes. Don't be talk, guys. You don't gotta be make this awkward. Talk amongst each other, and then we're gonna come back and talk about that.
Any luck?
Yeah, we should be able to connect it. It's just. Yeah.
I'm good. I'm not sure what's going on.
So she's done with the screen. Do you want hard lines?
That's fine at this point because she's already doing her presentation.
Okay.
Otherwise, it would have been helpful. I didn't even know what was going on. I would have just hooked her up in an LED mic. I got this.
Oh.
It's okay. Setting to line. Actually, we're on channel 2, I believe.
You have the ability to pull the camera out a little more so you can reach the screen and work head on to the next one.
The problem that we're running into is that we only have so much feet. I'm trying to figure it out.
We can move that table up too. I'm sorry? You're good.
So we are getting for I know. Just getting for channel 1 where the line is put in. I'm not getting channel 2, which is the mic. Correct. It's still not showing up on capture device.
Okay, I'm gonna give you guys like 1 more minute and I'm gonna come back and talk to you. So for you that just joined, they were off into small groups and they were asking themselves, why do they want to get into entrepreneurship, why now, and why your concept, which your unique selling proposition. That's kind of what that last week. Yeah. Oh, yes, she just joined?
No, here she goes, maybe.
Oh, okay, yeah, go ahead. Well, we're about to share, so you can be the first one to share. So what I want to do now is I want to hear from 3 people from each group. Okay, so whoever wants to start from this group, it's going to be you, then I'm going to be you.
So I like the flexibility of entrepreneurship. I don't so it's not.
Let me see if I can get you this mic.
And then why now? I'm kind of
Here, let me show you the mic so we can see if we can hear. We got to hear your story.
Can you hear?
Yeah.
Okay, so why entrepreneurship? I like the flexibility of it. I have a family and have other things to take care of. So it allows me the ability to do that. Why now? For me, this is kind of a pivot from my initial career. I worked for about 15 years before I had a family. So it's given me the opportunity to try something different. And what I do, I'm a copywriter. I help businesses to sell things.
Very needed. Very needed.
That's what I do.
All right, who's next from group 1? Don't be shy.
Hi, my name's Lee. Why entrepreneurship? I've had 2 or 3 businesses, and I think one of them is still going, so terrible. But also some of the freedoms. I have a little girl, and really just spend time with her. And I also want to lead a group of people and help them better themselves as well. Why now? COVID actually dried up some of my clients. I had free time, so I started working on an old idea that I had. And why my idea? It's related to dreams and goals and helping people achieve them. And that has been one of my dreams and goals for a decade. And I try to make it come true, and maybe make some money along the way.
Great, I love that. One more person from group 1.
For me, why entrepreneurship? My dad's an entrepreneur, and I've seen him grow a business from nothing into something. So that's something that I was really proud of to watch, and I think that would be very interesting for me to do that and just be something that I'm proud of. Why now? I don't have a lot of ideas. I'm a college student still, so
Right.
we're taking classes and learning a lot. So I think just learning about entrepreneurship and trying different ideas and see what I have a passion for. So it's kind of like why now, and then why my idea. Just a better community, better world, and give people opportunities that they don't have right now. So.
All right, pass it over to someone from group 2. I like that everybody just has a heart for people. That makes the best entrepreneurs because you're passionate with your drive to find a solution for whatever your business is. So that's great. All right, so 3 people from group number 2. Tell me here why entrepreneurship, why now, and why your concept. Can you hear me okay?
Why entrepreneurship? Just always wanted to be there. I've got the time, space, energy to do it. was laid off. During COVID, unemployed at the time, and we saw that stimulus money and unemployment. So
Right.
the budget, and my concept is helping connect workers with
I think that I'm bad at that. Okay, so the next person can speak really loud for 2 seconds while we get another mic.
Oh, I can go. My name is.
Sing good, I like that voice. I like that energy. Something about it.
Why entrepreneurship, creating for your personal engagement, and because I'm not in the business, so and I feel like I bring value to work. Right now, this is the only time we have. Why my concept is being for personal engagement, and I like the global. You know, even though I have a cosmetic company, it can lead to self-development, self-esteem classes, when we feel, you know, when we, as women, my main thing is when we don't look up to partners. So this is one of the foundations I want to with my future and as a platform. So this is just where I'm starting, and that's why I chose entrepreneurship, because you can sell to whatever way you choose. You don't have to sell. You know, you can do it around.
That's right, there's an unlimited cap when you're an entrepreneur. All right, one more person from group number 2.
Okay, so why entrepreneurship? Just to be a little bit more just self-serving. I personally feel it's better to make $1 to yourself than make somebody else $1 as well, I guess. So it's a little bit better of a situation when you're in control. Why now? Just with like COVID, everything going on now. Personally, we're a marketing agency that does like website development, design, things like that. So clearly, everything is moving online. That's what we specialize in, helping people get their products off and things like that. So.
Perfect. So the themes of why entrepreneurship, why now, why your concept, what I wanted you guys to get in the framework is aspiring life to existing life. Is anyone in this group currently a full-time entrepreneur right now? Okay. So for you, can you tell me about your experience of what you aspire your lifestyle to be, and how close do you feel like you are to the existing lifestyle that you want to create when you started entrepreneurship?
Honestly, very far off.
You got that. Oh, sorry. Well,
The life that I aspire, I'll say I'm probably 85% off. And that's because I have insurance. But I will tell you that because of my motivation and my willingness, I aspire to learn. That's one of the reasons I'm here, so that I can learn what I don't know, learn how to properly analyze. Okay, there's a lot of things I can learn to answer. So I'll say 85% off.
Okay.
And that's because I want to.
Right. But you would rather do this than go back to the job, right? See, that's what I'm saying. I'm not going back. I'm not going back to a job. I'm not doing it. Because entrepreneurship, it really is unlimited. And think about, here's a great thing. You know how when, for those of you who have been in the workforce, some of you guys are college students, when we have a career, that career puts us in the mind frame of this is it. So if I'm a teacher, you can only be a teacher at a different school. But the great thing about entrepreneurship is once you stand up, start, and scale one business, you can start another business. It can be something completely different. So, but again, I think that what I would impart to you guys about entrepreneurship that I wish somebody would have told me is self-development. So for you guys who are college students, don't rush this. I really want to make sure that you guys know who you are. And that doesn't come by taking, I don't want to make it seem like it's as simple as taking assessments. That's a lot of hard, deep soul searching. Entrepreneurship is going to expose whatever you're hiding from. So if you're a procrastinator, you're going to find out you're a procrastinator. If you're not really nice or not good at customer service, you're going to find that out. So take your time to develop yourself a little bit more so that when you come in, you're coming in on a strong foundation. Some other things that I impart to you guys now, this one is not one, but it's called the Entrepreneurial Archetype quiz. I can't talk, I'm Puerto Rican, so it's just what it is, y'all. I can't pronounce words. And so what I like about this one, and I take all my clients through this one, is it tells you what type of creator you are. So I'm gonna give you guys a transparent moment, and it's hilarious, right? So I actually started a consulting firm. I still have a consulting firm, right? No one told me said quiz existed, okay? So I took the quiz, and I'm like, oh yeah, it's gonna tell me I'm meant to be a down here. I don't know who I am, right? I took the quiz, y'all. Not supposed to be consulting, okay? Not supposed to be consulting. So it gives you, I think it's like architect, coach, teacher, and there's like another one. Hold on, let me see if I got it pulled up on my computer. Okay, wait, here we go, right here. So architect, creator, coach, and teacher. So when you take the quiz, it's going to tell you where you rank the most at, then what's your second strongest, then your third, and then your fourth. The last two you don't need to do. So you can imagine my surprise when I take the quiz and it tells me the last thing I should be doing is consulting. But it said that coach was like the last thing, right? And I actually ranked for architect, right? So I actually like to build things so other people can stand them up and run them. And then I want to be off. I don't want to, which makes sense why consulting was hard for me because I always got to talk to somebody, right? So if somebody would have just given me that, if I just would have known that about myself, I could have structured my business differently. I could have structured my business and I could have structured my entrepreneurial journey to match who I am as a person. Now, the second one I'm going to tell you is a little bit more complex, but I want you guys to. This one's called human design. I'm still very early in my understanding of human design. Now, basically what human design is about kind of your aura. How do you exist in this world and how should you move in this world? And I know that's like a very ambiguous thing and kind of sounds a little spiritual. It kind of is. But what it does is it tells you how should you literally move in the world. How are you best received? So I did my human design and it told me that it gives you like a profile of like a 6 or a 2, which basically explains your personality, how you are perceived to yourself, you perceive yourself or who you are inside, and then how you're perceived to others. And then it gives you something called strategy. And that's how you're supposed to go out into the world, right? So I just got done saying how I'm supposed to be coaching, right? So I took the human design and told me even more terrible information. Now mind you, I didn't take a workshop like this. So this was trial and error. So my strategy said to wait for the invitation. So what that means for me is that, I think my profile is like a 5'2". That means I can't be like, hey, become my client. And I'm gonna tell you why. Because I have a larger than life personality. I'm gonna say what I want. I don't care how you feel about it, okay? So I'm not supposed to actually go solicit clients. I'm supposed to stand up as my most authentic self and wait for people to invite themselves into my life or me into theirs, right? So I built a whole business completely out of alignment with who I am naturally. So guess what I had to do? I had to shut down the business and start over, making it more adaptable to who I am as a person. So beyond understanding the assessments of, knowledge, resilience, you really gotta understand who you are as a person. Because if you don't, this is your business. So you're gonna have to deal with this business and you can't just quit the business. Like you're stuck. So you wanna make sure that you're doing this one to the best of your abilities. So I would recommend you guys taking an entrepreneurial archetype. If you're an architect, that's like course building. You want to build things. That's like website building, because you can hand it off. So, let's see if you come back as an architect, right? And then if you're a creator, that's like content planning. That's like social media management. You want to create things, right? And then teacher, obviously that's self-explanatory. That's like something where you're teaching or consulting. Coaching is the same way. So what you want to do with those results is you want to use the top 2 and make sure your business matches who you are. Then take human design, take that assessment, and that's going to show you how to market yourself. How should you market? So for me, I shouldn't be like, hey, become a client. I should just be doing Facebook Lives. I should be doing what I'm doing right now. I I should just be visible so people can invite me into their life if they choose to, which makes my business, it makes my brand. Now that I've changed, I don't be stressed no more. It'd be cool because I know who I am now. Does that make sense for everybody? So I really, really, really want you guys to take that into accountability. And then the last thing that I want to impart to you guys, which is a dying trend, y'all gotta read, okay? You need to read. A book that I think you guys should start out with, if you haven't already read it, is called Outlier by Malcolm Gladwell. And that book is about, it basically explains why successful people are successful, right? We have this common myth that successful people are successful because they hustled hard and they did this. And although their work and their merits count for something, Malcolm Gladwell proposes that there were outliers in a successful person's life that led them to have a further of an opportunity to be more successful. So one of them will take Bill Gates. He used Bill Gates in the book. And he said that an outlier that Bill Gates had was from a very young age, like 13. He had access to like this computer lab that allowed him to start coding and working on websites at 13. And so Malcolm Gladwell also proposes something called the 10,000 hour rule, which is that in order to become an expert in your field, you need 10,000 dedicated hours into your field. That's like 5 years, 3 to 5 years, depending on how crazy you are, right? And so that book will transform how you think about success, how you think about your entrepreneurship journey, how this all works. But you guys, you need to read. The best entrepreneurs are reading I literally read 8 books a month. No, like it's crazy. Get on Audible, but you need to be reading. You need to be reading about yourself, depending on what you find out about yourself. Are you a creative? Are you an architect? How can you expound on those? Then you need to be reading about your industry. Your industries change all the time. So I can't decide that I'm going to be a marketing consultant and that's it, right? I have to be reading about this all the time. All the time I have to be coming up with new and innovative ways. But if I can impart anything, become obsessed with self-improvement. Be humble, okay? We don't know everything. There's new information coming out every single day. Take time to learn yourself. Live your life. If you don't live your life, how are you going to find out who you are? If you're obsessed with standing up a business and you never have to spend time with your family, if you don't tap into your spirituality, if you're not doing things, how are you going to figure out who you are to make a business? Don't be like me and make your business completely out of alignment, and then you have to turn around and redo it again. You see what I'm saying? Does anybody have any questions, concerns? Does that make sense? So again, like read 5 or 6 books a week. Get on your Audible, take continuous self-assessments. Another self-assessment right now is the Enneagram. Enneagram. I'm going to try to spell it, but you know I can't spell. It's like ENNEGRAM. That kind of tells you about, I like the Enneagram because it tells you about your personality. You can put yourself at like levels like healthy, average. It tells you where you should be at your highest potential. I'm an 8, I'm a challenger, that makes sense, right? Other ones that I want you to look at is the 16 personality quiz. That'll give you your people like, I'm an INTFJ or whatever. That's that. It'll tell you more about yourself. And then if you guys are into it, know your zodiac signs. That stuff is real. But again, I'm just imparting. Please know yourself. Please deeply be obsessed with your idea. You have to be obsessed with it. I always make a joke, I'm still on plan A. What I decided to do 5 years ago, I'm still doing. I haven't pivoted, I haven't switched. I didn't say, oh, this business was hard, so now I was going to be a marketing consultant, but now I'm going to open up a clothing line. I'm still doing exactly what I said I wanted to do. I stayed down, I stuck to the script, and if your why is not that strong, this isn't for you. Because you're not going to make it through those nights when it doesn't make sense. So I appreciate you guys. I hope you got a lot out of this. Take them assessments. That's all I got for you. Thank you.